I want to speak to you today about God's promise for old age or growing old. Now, you may not think you're there, and that's fine. But eventually you keep having enough birthdays that you're older than anybody else in the room. And listen to what Isaiah says in Isaiah 46:4. He says, even to your old age and gray hairs. Do you have gray hair? Maybe that'll qualify. I am He who will sustain you. I have made you, and I will carry you. I will sustain you, and I will rescue you. This is a marvelous promise God gave to Israel when they saw the pagan gods around them being hauled around on carts. And he refers to the gods of Baal, or rather Nebo and Bel. And he says they have to haul them, they have to get oxen cart, they have to build contraptions to carry them on, they've got to steady the idols, all of this rigmarole. And he says to Israel, Israel, just remember, you're never going to have to prop me up. You're never going to have to carry me. And you didn't carry me when I got you out of Egypt and bore you up on eagle's wings. You've never had to prop me up. Matter of fact, when a man touched the ark to steady it, I slew him because of the insult. You think you have to prop up the God who dwells at the ark of the covenant? I dare not try to prop up God. You can't control him in a box. He's bigger than the ark. And so he makes this great promise, even as you get older. I think it's interesting. Probably every culture can easily become a slave to the youth culture. I know as I grew up and rock and roll was coming on strong and Elvis Presley was coming on strong in the 50s, you would think there was no other kind of music but rock and roll. And they don't even play that kind of music anymore. But always playing to youth culture. That's where being cool, that's where culture is. And yet he says, did you know even when your hair gets gray, when you can no longer keep up the pace, and you're not in the cool crowd, and you feel like you need to be carried, you've got a God that will carry you. He said, cast your care on me, and I will carry you. I'll actually bear up the burdens that would weight you down. I ask you, who carries you? And who are you trying to carry? If you're a parent and full of years, you may be trying to carry some children that are in trouble or financially in need. You're used to always being the one in charge and the one that does the rescuing. And all of a sudden, you find your years spent, your health has been spent, your hair's turned gray, the pace is slower, still alive, still able to perhaps live on your own, or maybe not. What a promise from God for us, that no matter, the God of my life I began with as a youth. But now, as I've seen the years, decade after decade after decade, I look back on my journey and I think, wow, I've been walking with this God over a half a century. And he tells me, I'm not just the God of your teens, not just the God of your youth. I'll be the God of your latter years. What a promise. Sleep on that. Don't sleep on Fox News. Sleep on a promise from God that even as you get old, even as your hair turns gray, God will not forget you, but he will bear you up until he eventually bears you right into the third heaven as you go home to be with Christ. What a promise of God. Isaiah 46, verse 4. God bless you.